come this time.
Now, this movie was originally planned to be a series on Disney Plus. What was the moment or the reason to turn those plans around?
As we were working on it, we were always telling an overarching story over those 5 episodes. So it was just, it was something as we screened it, it just kept wanting to be up on the big screen. To be honest, it just kept growing, and we kept trying to push the scale, push how epic of a tale this was, and every time we did that, it just sort of begged to be up on the big screen. And so we had, along the way, we decided that was going to be the best way to tell it, and the Disney company sort of got behind us. And then from that point forward, it's been so long now for us, we can't even remember what it's really like as a series. But there was building blocks early on that we still are using from those early days of the television series, and then we just continued to craft it and craft it and craft it until we got to where we are today.
What was the most unexpected place that you found inspiration for a scene for Moana 2?
A Taylor Swift concert?
Oh, wow.
Was that what you were expecting?
This is not a joke.
That's not a joke. This film is really about, in so many ways, Moana's growth as a leader. And we brought her back, or we came back into the story 3 years after the first film, and we wanted to find ways to instantly make it feel and look like Moana had really come into her own as a leader. And one of the ways that we thought of doing that was to have these characters called the Moana Bees, which in our world are the Swifties of the Moana universe. We just love this idea that the people of her community have really rallied around her, and they've embraced this idea that they should be called back to the ocean. And it felt like a natural progression from that there would be young girls in the community that would want to be just like her.
Sailing from the horizon, back to our home, our island, coming into our view beneath the morning sky. From new shores we've been exploring, returning to tell our story, connected with both the land and sea.
Now, as directors, one of your goals is to have a good story flow, no pun intended. Is this difficult to achieve when you have like showstoppers, like the musical sequences?
That's a great question. Part of our process in building this story is to really make the music an integral part of the storytelling. Every musical moment within this film is really an emotional moment that's pushing a character to a new place. And so throughout the entire process, as we're breaking story, as we're writing scripts, as we're putting everything on its feet, we are working closely with Abigail Barlow and Emily Bear, our songwriters, to make sure that we are integrating the music into the movie and not adding it in on top.
But I will say it's actually really fun to have a chance to really take those emotional moments, and a song can really help you turn the dial up on it. You take a song like Beyond, which is incredibly emotional, and Moana can only sing that in that moment because of the moment she's at in her life. Or you take a song like Can I Get a Chihu, and that one is just really about a hype song and just having the most fun, where Maui's really trying to shake Moana out of out of the funk that she's in. So as storytellers, it's actually incredibly fun to do those songs because, those two, just as if you use that as an example, they're so vastly different and they fit within the same film. And it's just really exciting to create those moments.
Were there any songs cut from the movie?
We did have a song or two that we had to adjust because we adjusted the storyline. It's pretty common as we're making these type of films to actually change the story, and the moment just isn't quite right. And they're incredible songs as they are, but they just didn't quite fit the new storyline as we went forward.
Now, Dwayne Johnson is coming back as the voice of Maui, the demigod.
Okay, rule number 1. You never saw me like this, even though I still look very cool.
You look like a kidney stone.
And you look like someone who would know what that is. Now. Well, hello, Bacon.
What makes The Rock so perfect for the role of Maui, and how was it to work with him on the set?
I think we can all say that Dwayne Johnson is larger than life, just like Maui. It was really special to work with him on this. He walks into that recording booth and is instantly Maui. It's really incredible to watch him sort of inhabit that character. But what was especially exciting in this film, in the first he has one song, And this we gave him 2. One of those songs is in Samoan and is deeply emotional and speaks to his growing friendship with Moana. And it was really exciting to talk to him as an actor about taking this character that we all know and love as kind of one thing and push him to new limits.
Can you name your Mount Rushmore of Disney animation movies? What's up there?
Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, Aladdin.
That's the era of the films that I grew up on and also inspired me to come and work at Disney Animation. So those are definitely them. I'll add in the original Jungle Book. I watched that. My dad took me to the theater to see a re-release of that when I was a kid. And it's just so much fun. There's so much joy in that film. The music obviously is incredible. That one I'll just add in. But, Disney Animation has a lot of great films. It's really exciting to be part of that legacy.
What would happen if Moana and Maui switched bodies for a day?
Ooh, spin-off? Freaky Friday, Moana style? Oh, man.
Chaos? I'm not sure.
I don't like where my mind is going. I don't know. Moana's such a badass as she is. She doesn't need to switch bodies with Maui.
Agreed.
He might learn a little more empathy.
That's good.
It was announced that Pua, the pig, was voiced by a real pig this time. How many pigs did you cast before you found the right one? And how difficult was it to tell Alan Tudyk that he couldn't voice it?
Was that announced?
Yeah. Apparently, I didn't know. You know what? Pua, we had so much fun bringing Pua on this journey. And the character's hilarious because he's just so freaked out to be out there. He really goes on his own little growth journey. There's even moments where he sings along, but you don't really hear the voice. So
you got to look for it, though.
Yeah, you do.
And no one's told Alan Tudyk yet, so he still doesn't know. He's not Pua.
Since the first movie, animation technology has improved significantly. Can you tell us about challenges you experienced while doing this one?
We work with some incredible animators, the same people who crafted the ocean in the first film. A lot of them came back to make this film. But in thinking about raising the stakes for Moana's journey and putting her up against a bigger obstacle than Te Kā, we got excited about this idea of putting her in and her crew in a monster storm. None of the pieces of that storm existed when we had that idea. That was all handcrafted by our visual effects artist, our production designer, and I'm sure they would say that was a huge challenge. But really what was incredible is to watch people from different departments come together, from our camera departments, from our effects departments, to figure out how to build these rigs so that we could put Moana in a storm that was sentient. It's cursed by the gods. So it's not just a cloud in the sky. These are tornadoes that are attacking. This is lightning that has purpose, giant waves. It was a pretty big challenge, but I couldn't be happier with what we've come up with.
I think our animation, the actual rigs that the characters are made from and the animators use to do all the performance have gotten really good, but that's because there's incredible skill of animators behind it. They're actors, and within that same sequence that Dana was just saying, there's an emotional journey and an emotional story that's happening between all of the characters that I think is really powerful, and it speaks to how incredible our animators are at portraying the emotion of the characters, what is happening through their physical movements and their expressions. It's the best animation I've ever seen our studio do, and I'm so proud of it.
Is there anything about the movie that might not be so obvious but would you like to point out?
Ooh, I think there's a lot of small moments of humor that are hidden within a lot of different frames. I'm really proud that we really push, I would say, the comedy in this film, even more so than the first one. But we, like Jason is saying, work with these incredible animators that would sometimes add extra details within the film that weren't necessarily scripted. And there's a lot of fun to be had. You just have to pay attention.
I think one other extra element is that, there's a lot of aspects of this that's a love letter to the first film. We bring back characters like the Kakamora, but every time we did that, it was very purposeful on our part to make sure that we're learning new things about each one of these new elements, because that's part of the story of the evolution and the growth and change. And Moana gets to experience that too when she finds out about why the Kakamora have been doing what they've been doing. So every one of those elements that's a callback, or like I said, an homage to the first first film is really used to tell a new story with that. And I think those things all add up to what we're making in Moana 2, which is a story of continued personal evolution and growth, but that kind of goes across all the elements.
For me, the pig and the chicken are highlights of the movie.
Yes.
Were there ever any thought of giving them something more to do?
Something more. I feel like we take Pua on an emotional journey. It's not just Moana's personal growth that we see in this film. He aspires to be a pig that is an adventurer, but it takes almost the entire film for him to actually embrace that. So there's depth to that pig that didn't exist at the beginning of this film.
And Hey is just an idiot. And that's okay. And we love him for that. And it's such a beloved character. We have so much fun trying to just come up with what new levels of dumbness can Hey possibly demonstrate for us. And it's really fun. Our animators are incredible at that. We have a blast doing that kind of thing.
Last question. If you had Maui's fishhook, what animal would you like to turn into and why?
Ooh, a giraffe.
Oh, very good. I'm going to say
And why?
Yeah. Yeah, why exactly?
I just really like
salad or
beautiful landscapes, and I feel like with that view, could really.
There you go.
That was a terrible answer. I don't know. It was the first animal that came to my mind.
I'm going to use one of the animals that we see him turn into, which is a hawk, because, who doesn't want to at least feel what it's like to fly? I think that'd be pretty awesome.